What is up, everybody? Z3 KO Trinity here. Welcome back to another. Right here it is, guys. Right here is the beautiful stroking Superman. This is the 80-page issue number 1000 of Action Comics. This is probably one of the biggest issues in ever of history for comic books. Comic books, for superhero-wise, began in the 1930s when Action Comics number 1 came out, featuring this man right here, the one that we call Superman. And back then, he really wasn't that big of a deal. Today, he is a really big deal to a lot of people. A lot of people really don't like Superman. I, for one, personally love Superman. He's been a big inspiration to me. He is just, he gives me hope. I love reading his comics, watching his movies. It's just, he's my number one favorite superhero. And to see that it actually came to be a 1000th issue for Action Comics, the very comic that introduced him, 1000 comics later, in my hands, is just absolutely breathtaking. What's so special about this issue? It's a comic that has multiple stories in it from multiple people, and the very last story in this book is written by Brian Michael Bendis, which is his big return to the DC Comics. He is one of my top favorite writers. I loved his work for the X-Men and Marvel and all that he has done. And I think that he is going to do great things with Superman. But we're going to start this off with the Action Comics 1000. This is the original cover. We also have the what they call the 1930s variant cover. It's the same comic, just they have variant issues, and I've gotten all variants. This is a 1940s variant. This is a 1950s variant. This is the 1960s variant, which I think is one of the best times for Superman. You get the idea from here, but this is the 70s version. 80s right here. You could definitely tell the 90s. This is the one that I grew up with right here. You can kind of see the resemblance of the Superman animation, the animated comics right there. You have Action, the 2000 edition. And yeah, that was all the variants. And also we have this steel-sealed Superman Action Comics graphic novel, The 80 Years of Superman, that just came out today. I'm not exactly sure what all is in this graphic novel, but there is a story that was never told by the original creators of Superman. That was never published back in the 30s. That story is in this graphic novel. So that is a really huge deal. I'm going to be doing an unboxing and celebration of Superman's big release in the next video. But we're going to continue on. When I say that this is the biggest comic book haul I've ever done, I mean it. This is the biggest comic book haul I have ever done. So we're going to start with DC. We have Action 999. We have Detectives 976. Nice looking issue there. And it has been a while since I read comic books and stuff, so I'm not really exactly in the loop of what's going on, so I do apologize. 978 Detective Comics. We have Aquaman 34. All Hail Wrath, Lord of Atlantis. It's a pretty nice cover there. 35 of Aquaman. We have 43 of Batman. He's getting ready to get married to Catwoman. We all know that. Number 44, that little pre-marriage cover there. It's really cool. Number 45 of the Batman starts a story called The Gift, where basically Joker takes over Gotham while Batman's away. Batman White Knight, issue 7 of 8, so we got one more issue of that to go. Batman Beyond, number 18, where his kid brother takes the form of Robin, I'm guessing. We have Batgirl 21, Who is the Enemy Within. I'm not too sure if it's a brand new villain or not. Like I said, I haven't been reading them. Batgirl and the Birds of Prey. Batgirl Birds of Prey 21, which is an introduction to Burn Rate, a new villain. Let's see if I can fix that up a little bit. We have Batwoman 13. I thought this was kind of a cool cover. Has like wings and like maggot looking things in the shape of a bat. So I thought that was cool. Batwoman 14, Fall of the House of Kane Part 2. This is a new superhero called Brimstone. And from what I've heard, he is one of the best brand new superheroes that DC had come out with. They said that out of all of the newest ones, he is the best one. So I can't wait to read it. Cyborg 21. I don't know if it's the first edition or not. I can't quite remember, but it shows InGen on the front cover there. I think he's brand new. Damage issue 3. Featuring Wonder Woman. Damage number 4 with Poison Ivy. We have Dark Knight's Metal number 6, which I personally think that this is the coolest looking front cover of a comic book ever. Like, this is one of my top favorite front covers of a comic book in history. Deathstroke versus Batman, The Lie That Changes Everything. Deathstroke issue 30. I already know the comics aren't going to stay, so we got the Doomsday Clock number 4, which I can't wait to read and figure out what happens. I'm pretty caught up with that. This one's a brand new one. DC introduced a thing called the Young Animals, and this is kind of like their Wave 2. This is issue 1 of Eternity Girl. I'll throw this one in there real quick. This is another number 1 of Cave Carson Has an Interstellar Eye. I don't know if I'm going to keep this one, actually, because I wasn't really a fan of Cave Carson to begin with. So we'll just have to see. But Flash 42, End of the Race, which there's multiple new characters for the Flash. And then Flash 43, which shows the new characters. That's the Flash of China. And then, of course, Godspeed and all of them. Gorilla Grodd is the big villain at the moment for them. 44 of Flash, which is a really nice front cover. Flash is probably one of the best DC's got to offer. Green Arrow 39, first appearance of Nothing. Maybe not the first exact appearance. I think there might have been his appearance was earlier, but I remember this is a cover appearance of him. We have Green Lanterns 43, so a really colorful cover. Green Lanterns 44. I know not many people like the comic book video, but if you do happen to like the comic book videos, then I'm thankful. I just really love comic books so much. But Green Lanterns 45, and I was really far behind due to bills and stuff. General Zod, or Zod's Will, Hal Jordan, Green Lantern Corps number 40. Interesting. Then you got 41 with that Zod cover again. And then we have 42, which has Dark Star. So I'm not quite sure if he's a first appearance or not, but he just looks pretty badass, I think. We have Angry Bird, Harley Quinn number 40. We have 41. And the next issue I'm about to show you is DC's answer to Old Man Logan. If you know who Old Man Logan is from the Marvel Universe, their answer, Old Lady Harley. Harley Quinn 42. First appearance of Old Lady Harley. That's pretty funny. Then we have Immortal Men number 1, their first appearance, which I think is kind of cool. Injustice 2, issue 22, with a really nice front cover. Then you got number 23 and number 24. Then we have the first appearance of Red Lion, number 41. Dude looks pretty sick. 42 of Justice League. Who shot Wonder Woman? The answer will shock you into submission. And we'll scoot those over and go to part 2. Yes, you heard me. Part 2 of the DC Comics. We have Justice League 43. The comics already fell. But nice little Deathstroke cover there. Justice League of America, number 27. Featuring Kronos on the front cover. We have Justice League 28. Or Justice League of America 28, my bad. We have Mr. Miracle, 7 of 12. And then number 8 of 12. Pretty decent looking cover. Here's another new one of the Young Animals. Mother Panic Gotham AD. After Dark. ADP. Then we got Nightwing number 41. Kind of got dark all of a sudden. Nightwing 42. Really nice cover. Dr. Agens. I get it. I get it. It's Dr. Agen or Dragons. I thought it was Dr. Agen. Oh my god, it says Dragon's Duel. I'm done. Nightwing 43 with a funny cover of Nightwing's like, you sure you don't need my help? And then Little Robin's like, we're fine. We're all good. You just do what you do. Ragman, number 6, switching hands. Ragman number 6, The Ultimate Sacrifice. Nice looking cover. It's the final issue of the 6-issue miniseries. We has Red Hood and the Outlaws number 20. Kind of iffy cover. And Red Hood number 21. Kind of funny. And that was the Penguin's first mistake. We got Scooby-Doo Apocalypse 23. And then 24. Fools in Love. Oh, snap. Then we got Sideways, number 2, introducing a bunch of brand new villains. Number 3, like this one, Kill Speed, was introduced in that last issue. We have the Silencer, number 3, which is slowly becoming one of my top favorite of the new people. Suicide Squad, number 37, Power Girl, front cover, funny Harley. Number 38, Abe Lincoln. Looks like a brand new guy. I'm not quite sure what his name is. But that's a nice looking cover. Suicide Squad, number 39. Now who's in charge? We're moving on to Supergirl, number 19. Kind of a peaceful cover for the Supergirl ones. Supergirl 20. Then you got Superman 43. the Bizarro verse. Bizarro verse for 44, with that really cool cover of all the Bizarro characters. Then you got Superman, number 45. Really peaceful looking front cover. I like that. We have the new Superman from China, introducing the Aquaman of North Korea, which is him right there. Interesting. Then we have another one, a Team Reborn, where they basically get back together with the Chinese Justice League, or the Justice League of China. We got Super Sons, number 14. Interesting cover. Not quite sure if Super Sons is that good, but we'll have to see once I read them, right? Super Sons 15. Live fast, fly young. Teen Titans 18. Trying to get Beast Boy's brain and abilities. Titans number 21. Your simple cover. Titans number 22. Donna Troy Unleashed. Donna Troy is one of my absolute favorite characters. We have the Terrifics number 2. I can't remember if I got number 1 or not, but we have number 2. So, Wonder Woman number 42, her fight with Darkseid's daughter. And then number 43, against the Omega Effect, which has a character on the front that I'm not quite familiar with. I'm not quite sure who that is. And then, of course, number 44, that escalated very quickly with the rebirth of Darkseid. And that is all the DC Comics. We're going to be moving on. I'm going to add the Carson one to the pile. We're going to start with this little stack here and move our way up. But we have 2 Marvel stacks, and then we got an extra stack to go. So they're not as big. Let me see if I can maneuver myself a little bit. They're not as big as the DC Comics, so don't worry. The video's like halfway done. But we have Avengers No Surrender 684, number 10 for this one, Hulk cover. We have number 11, 685. We have 686. The Pyramid of Light from Yu-Gi-Oh! 687. 689. I do have 688, but it's in that pile. Captain America 700th issue with a classic tale by Mark Waid and Jack Kirby. So that's kind of really interesting if you're a big Jack Kirby fan. We have the Despicable Deadpool 296, which is the end of that storyline. And then we have this one here, 297, which begins the funny storyline, The Marvel Universe Kills Deadpool, which is really funny because they had one called the Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. We have Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man 301, really nice cover, and 302, which features 2 Spider-Men and Green Goblin. Scarlet Spider 16, which I think that's a really good cover. The Thing and Human Torch, number 4. Nice. We got a fiery cover of The Mighty Thor, which all Thor's covers seem to be similar anymore. 164 Venom. We have the all-new Wolverine. Where's the issue number? 32. That's kind of cool with Daredevil's logo. That's kind of interesting. All-new Wolverine 33 with her new costume look on the front cover. Not really liking it. It's kind of like a mix between Cyborg and that. I'm not too sure of. Cable. 155. And then 156 a Cable. his comics will be pretty big after the new Deadpool movie. Astonishing X-Men number 9, featuring Psylocke on the front cover there. Number 10, pretty cool cover. X-Men Blue 23, X-Men Blue 24, which is a really cool Magneto cover. And one of my favorite covers, the new X-Men Blue, with all of these new people here. And that one's the old original Wolverine, I think. I could be wrong, but that's what it looked like to me. X-Men Gold 24. Weird cover. Reminds me of that show, Orange is the New Black. X-Men Gold 25. Really nice cover. I feel like if you put this one and the blue one together, it should make something. Like I feel like it should have, but oh well. Yeah. And that's all. Actually, I bagged and boarded all of these. For some reason, my comic shop did not have bag and boards, and I kind of ran out, so that's why these are the way they are. And no, I didn't pick certain ones to put in there. It just kind of was random at the time. But anyway, Star Wars 45. Let me sit back down. So I think that lighting is a little better. Star Wars 45. Star Wars 46. He's got a silver foot now. It was a red hand, but now it's a silver foot. Darth Vader 13. And I know in the comment section I'm going to hear, he's always had a silver foot if you watch the movies. But number 14, Jason Voorhees style Darth Vader. Then we got Dr. Alpha number 18. Poe Dameron 25. Poe Dameron's front covers all look really simple. I think this is probably the best front cover of a Poe Dameron comic I've seen. It's got Finn's face right there. Princess Leia. Randoms. And then just Poe. I think that's a nice cover, though. We have Thrawn issue 2. Don't know anything about Thrawn. And Thrawn 3. We have Avengers 688, like I said, in the one pile, which I think that's a nice cover. We have Despicable Deadpool 298. Marvel Universe Kills Deadpool, with my favorite Juggernaut on the front cover. We has The Thing 2, The Thing Human Torch, number 5. Which they're getting ready to come out with some more, I want to say X-Men, but it's Fantastic Four. So we'll look forward to that. Here's the creme de la creme of the Spider-Man comics, the one we've been all waiting for. This one here is the first full appearance of the Red Goblin. Yes, and then next up, I think that's the right one. Yeah, next up is the first page cover. There he is, folks. The Red Goblin in his purest devil-looking form. Which is one of the coolest things ever, I think. Yes, that's the creme de la creme, the ones that I've been looking for. That's 239 of Spider-Man. Pretty sad looking cover. See, Brian Michael Bendis wrote this comic as well. So he's been doing really good with his comics. Got Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider. Then we have the Scarlet Spider, number 17, with a really cool front cover. We have Rogue and Gambit, number 14. A really nice front cover of X-Men Gold 26, Till Death Do Us Part, Will You Marry Me? I think it's a really sweet cover. They've been together for a long time in the comics, so I'm glad that that's actually happening. X-Men Red with that nice Gambit cover there. And finally, I know you guys are probably tired of sitting through a 25-minute comic book video, but we're on the final ones here. We have Barbarella, issue number 4. Barbarella number 5. Curse Words, which is actually one of my favorite comics now. I actually started reading these ones. The art is absolutely gorgeous, and the story is just so freaking good. This is the other issue, number 13. And it's written by my favorite writer, Charles Soule, so can't go wrong there. Elsewhere, number 6. Which I can't remember if this is a 6-issue miniseries or if it's an 8. I know it's a short comic series. Then, the creme de la creme. Well, this ain't the creme de la creme. This is like the beginning of the creme de la creme. But you got Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers number 8. The Shattered Grid Prelude. If you don't know what the Shattered Grid is, words cannot explain how cool that story is going to be. There's a trailer, an actual movie-like trailer featuring, oh fuck, what's his name? Jason David Frank. And basically, it's the white/green ranger basically becoming the bad guy from a different planet and like just trying to kill all the Power Rangers. And like it looks crazy. Like I said, I'm probably butchering it, but just go look at the trailer. Grimm Fairy Tales number 13. The Age of Camelot. Then we have number 14. A Musketeer edition, which is kind of funny. Outcast number 34. Interesting cover. Redneck, which is a very cool looking cover. Number 11. Don't want to mess with that chick. Regression, number 8. All the Regression issues kind of look the same, but they're pretty poetic. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, number 7. Interesting front cover. You have your Star Wars Adventures, number 8. Pretty cartoonish. And number 9, featuring C-3PO and R2-D2. And finally, The Walking Dead, issue number 178. I read this issue in the car. It is pretty major. We're starting to see the downfall of this new group here. But yeah, this chick right there is pretty badass. But yes, that was the biggest comic book haul I have ever had. And I got a little story to tell you. Whenever I was at the shop and I was picking up these comics, because I had so many like bills that come out at the same time, and I couldn't get comics and I had to backtrack them. And I was able to pick them all up. And the one guy that I normally talk to was there, and the actual owner of that comic book shop was there, which I rarely see him there. But anyway, we were talking, discussing that, and the comic book guy at the counter started to bag up my stuff after I bought the comics. He started putting them in a plastic bag. The owner came by and stopped him and told him no. And he had this confused look on his face like, what do you want me to do? And I was kind of like wondering what the hell was going on. Because the owners like stopped him from bagging my stuff and he went onto the back. Well, he came out with this limited edition, probably a $40 box, $40 to $70 box of the Civil War II Spider-Man cover comic box. And he loaded my comic books up in it and gave it to me for absolutely free. So not only did I come out with all these comic books, but he was able to give me this really badass limited edition comic box for absolutely free. So that was really, really cool of them. I love going to their comic book shop, and it's just, they've treated me really well. They really know their stuff. The company's name is Crit Hit Comics. They all know what they're doing. They all like know everything about the comics, like what's supposed to happen in them. They're just really up to date, which is one thing I really, really love about them. Like, I'll come in there and they'll be like, "You'll want to have this issue," because they gave me issue 13 of Thanos. And I don't subscribe to Thanos. And I was like, "Well, why'd you give me this?" And he's like, "Oh, dude, you'll want to keep that. That's the first appearance of the Galactic Ghost Rider." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So, yeah, they're just really knowledgeable about their stuff. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I know a few people has popped in every once in a while, but popped right back out. So I hope it wasn't too boring for you guys. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Celebrate Superman. He's been out for 80 years now. 80 years of Superman. It's because of him that we have all the superheroes. And I know it's controversial. People could say, well, Batman still could have been sold even if Superman was not, which is probably true. But it wouldn't have been sold to DC Comics. Because if you look it up, DC Comics was about to close, but they came up with the idea of Superman. They have a lot of their issues denied. So a lot of the idea for issues of Superman had been denied, which is where this really cool graphic novel comes into play, because it has one of the stories that was denied from the 1930s in it. But yeah, just wanted to take the time to thank the people for coming up with Superman, such an iconic and loving character, and just thank you, DC Comics, for doing something spectacular for him. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Dooskies.